Okay, we're going to do the Lawnmower Man. This is a game that a couple of my friends had whenever we were younger. I think they borrowed it from their brother and he just never got back into video games or just didn't want to play them. Um, they gave it to me one time because I tried playing through it, tried getting through it, and they just never asked for it back or anything. So, by the turn of the millennium, technology known as virtual reality, but its widespread use. To tell you the truth, what it boils down to is they're going to use virtual reality, but they find this guy whose name is Job, and they try it out with him to increase his intelligence, and he kind of goes crazy and becomes kind of like, in other words, like a god in the virtual world. And this is based off of a movie, but this particular port of this game is not 100% based off the movie, but it does have some stuff in it. I'm not going to be able to go through the entire game because I can get to the last boss almost every time I play this. I won't be able to get that far because I can't I can't stream the video that long. So we'll go as far as I think that we can go with our time restraint in there. And you're going to notice that you play as Angelo or Carla. I don't think there's a difference in between the two. And Angelo is Pierce Brosnan, actually. So we'll just go ahead and take him. Now, most of the game is this side-scrolling. There's stuff that's on the bottom and top of the screen. I don't. The only time I ever really get to look at it is if somebody else is playing the game. You get shot once, you die unless you have a suit on. You'll know if you have a suit on or not because here in a couple minutes you'll see where I get a suit on. Best thing to do is just to hold down the shoot button and just run along and do what you got to do. You do have to find out different parts about the game. That comes from playing the game. Then we do these, which are little virtual reality things. This is the industrial area. This one's not too bad. I like to use the crosshairs to guide my player through to where I need to go. If you hit a wall, you bounce off of it, and then you come back to the real world and you die. So that counts as a life. So you want to make sure you can do these. And there's quite a few of them in there. Most of them are just from point A to point B. And I'll show you where my friends could make it, and I'll tell you about how much of the game is actually left. Because they for the longest time had trouble getting to different parts. See there, I've got the suit. And of course, I've gotten to the last boss of the game many times and not been able to defeat him. I had to use save states one time to kill him. He just takes way too much damage. There's a lot of stuff that takes a lot of damage on here. There's another thing that you can do with the gun. You can hold down. There's a 1-up in there. That green one's a 1-up. And then there's a power up on the guns too. But if you hold down, I believe it's the A button, you suck up power and it's a harder shot. But most of the time, your gun's just going to be able to do stuff anyway. You shoot those until they say access granted. This is virtual Atlantis. Took me a while to actually get through all these because you got to kind of learn what you're doing. I mean, you can follow the crosshairs like I do, but you kind of have to know how it's going already. That makes it a little bit easier. And not all of those are the same thing. You'll see different ones. That's a bomb he just threw at me. You have to know where some of the enemies are too. If you don't know where some of the enemies are, this game gets very, very difficult. And you see those numbers I'm picking up on those? Those power up the suit. I'm not real sure. I've powered it up to 100. You see up in the upper left-hand corner that has how many lives I've got and the suit itself. I don't really know because I've gotten the suit up to 100% before. I don't really know if it does anything different. Now these are little IQ test things. Sometimes I pass them quick, sometimes I don't. This one is like all solids. This one's all solids. This one's all solid with colors. These are the ones that are tricky. And I've just got to guess on them because I've never quite figured out how to do them. The ones that have either the color or two different ones in there. These are mathematical ones as well. You have to pick the next number in the cycle. And of course you're timed, so you have to kind of do these a little bit quick. The good thing is at least you don't die if you don't, like if you fail, you have to get 5 of them. That's a little lights in the lower right hand corner. We'll get some different guns here in a little while. Some that are I always pick up all the CDs I can find as well. Don't know how much it really does, if it does anything at all, but they're there. So let's pick them up. This thing right here, it'll explode. If you touch that, you die. Not much to the game. It's platform side scroller shooter. This time we're going into something a little bit different. This is Cyber Warzone 1. There's 3 of these. See, this time my right hand is replaced by a gun, which shoots out little balls of energy there. And it'll stop me twice, and I'll have to shoot down so many of these things. Now, you see a little thing, you see triangles on my left-hand side. Those are my life bar. When I get hit, I think 2 of them go down at a time. I think you can only take 5 hits. Or you can run into five things, So we shot down those little demons. I'd like to get to Job and at least get marginally through the game before we have to quit the stream. If we don't, I'll come back another time and show you some of the rest of it. As you see, when you kill them, they come up on that right-hand side of the screen. You have to kill at least 5 of them. I also like to shoot with the gun because that kind of keeps me straightened out, too, on which way to go. Now, these guys are going to pop out of these manhole covers here. I'm going to go right into this. Sometimes these are really easy. Sometimes they're really difficult. And if you miss, boy, they take a big chunk of time out of there. Some of the time they do. I just have to guess on those guys because to tell you the truth, I've never figured them out. I played this game when I was probably about a teenager or so, or almost a teenager. I never did figure it out then. I still to this day haven't really figured it out. And to tell you the truth, I've never looked at an instruction manual or anything for this game. I didn't have the instruction manual with it, and my friends nor their brother had the instruction manual. So no. Now right here, you got to fly this plane across this little area. Don't worry, you won't run out of fuel. There's no way to run out. And I dropped it too hard. If you drop the plane too hard instead of setting it down gently, you'll die. Of course, I didn't die because I don't think I died anyway. Because I had the suit on. There's kind of mini bosses. I at least want to make it to the shop or near the shop. You can grab those and they'll multiply up anyway, even if you don't have the suit. A couple of my friends had problems right here. This is a boss. Best thing to do is just to try to shoot, and hopefully you have these triangular ones are like homing missiles. Now, if you shoot that first one down, you want to make sure that you get close enough that you can. Crap. See, I'm in a bad position here because I have torn up the first one, but I have not torn up the second one yet. Oh, I'm in a bad spot. Okay, now I've torn up the second one. Usually that doesn't go that bad. Now, once you blow up the second one, I'm trying to make sure I'm not going to get hit right here. I might get hit. Once you blow up the second one, he comes down. I assume that's supposed to be Harley. See, there's not... There's one like little pixel that you have to stand on to not get hit by any fire. And it's right here on the side of the garage type thing. And usually when you shoot him once or twice, he goes and he flies off. Now they got up here. I finally figured out how to get through this thing. Do not press down. Do not go through those rings. And then just go back and forth right here. Otherwise, you'll run into these things. And you see down there those ships. That's how many hits that you can take. Same thing right here. Just kind of try to dodge these. Do not press down. If you press down at any time, it will speed you up, and it is almost hard to do. You see me just flinging out shots? That's to guide me. That's not to do anything else. That is to guide me so I know where the heck I'm going. You got to shoot through those. Now, the one thing I do right here, I go outside of this, and I come back in at the end. And crap. This is not ending up good. Okay. I just dodge these as best I can. Now, you'll come up on some of those little, I like to call them little gremlins. I don't think they're like demons or anything. I think they're probably like viruses in a computer. You can try to stand there and shoot them down. They only take a couple shots. You probably won't be able to kill them all unless you just stand there and go toe-to-toe with them, which usually doesn't end up real good. You don't have to kill them. The bar on the left shows how far I am from the end of the stage. That's what that shows. Now right here, when you come back out, you're going to want to just kind of move around side to side a little bit. Make sure you don't hit very many of those. I took some hits I shouldn't have. You can just go right straight through there. You got to shoot those down. So those are there. And as you can see, we're almost out. Now once you come out of here, you come up on a bad place. You're in a lab. And it took me a while to figure out how to get from point A to point B in this lab, because this lab is huge and it is hard to get through. You'll face Job at the very end of it, but there's a lot of other nasty little things before you get there. And I do mean a lot. There's a couple of, I think they're sub-bosses. They're not really bosses, but they're kind of, don't let him shoot you there. If you can safely grab the EMP pulses, grab those. Those will do extra damage to him. If not, dodge him. Make sure you're not going to be in the middle there, and just keep firing. And especially if you have a, there we go. I was going to say, if you have a homing gun like I do, just keep shooting them at them. Okay, we're going to try to... You don't have to do these, but I find that it helps score-wise, and also it helps getting, data and other things out of them. Well, you got lucky there. Boom! Okay, and a suit. A suit! I got to my suit. Now, you're going to have to go through here. We're going to go through it this way, I think. This is a cyber dusk. I'm sorry, cyber dusk. There's a cyber jungle. You want to stay moderately high to get through some of these. Like I said, after you go through them so many times, you kind of know where you're going. You kind of know what to do. Now, we'll go up, and I think what that's going to do is, I think that's going to allow me to... Now, this is one of my favorite guns. This is the pulse gun. Or no, this is not the pulse gun. This is the, I forgot what it's called. We will get the pulse gun here later. See how some of these move with some of these other ones? Now, here's where it gets a little bit confusing. This part gets confusing, and it took me a while to actually figure it out. This is the pulse gun. And I wouldn't be surprised if I die a couple times here. You have to figure out which one to take over first. It might be the middle one, maybe. And then the top one, maybe. I'm not sure. If you do it right, there's there's a platform right here. There's not very many different ways you can do it. So basically, the only bad thing is the enemies respawn sometimes, and that creates a little bit of an issue. This stupid gun is just annoying. I'm not 100% able to be remembering which way these things go. Wait a minute. No. Wait a minute. Like I said, there's not too many different ways to go. Oh, by the way, that arrow represents a backwards shot. It's not always helpful, but in certain cases it can help. As you see, I lost my suit, but I got my suit back. Okay, there it is. Okay. Now this guy's not too hard. Well, in my opinion, he's not too hard. What I do is I just crouch down over here and I just hold down the shot button, and now I go back over here and the same thing. You can't defeat the thing, I don't think, that's coming down on top of you. You can hit it, but you can't kill it, I don't think. Now, I'm going to drag him all the way over here, and then we're going to come back over here and shoot this thing. There he goes. Okay. If you shoot them enough times, they'll go to access denied. See, now that one was not a thing there. Be very careful right here, especially with this stupid helicopter. This thing is a pain in the butt. If he stops, he's gonna shoot a well, sometimes he does like a fake stop. But usually if he stops, he's getting ready to shoot a missile. And I jumped right face first into that one. Try not to be around him when he explodes, and duck when you get to those. I got a little bit too greedy trying to get more firepower, and I bit the dust when I really shouldn't have. Stupid on my part. I don't think you can blow these boxes up. I've stood there and tried to shoot at them for a while before, and it just doesn't happen. I think I just got an extra life or something in there. Suit energized. Across here. This is another one where you have to figure out which way you're going to go. I don't think it's as tough as the other one though. Now see, now you don't have to duck down to shoot this guy because he's going to be right where you're going to land. And you don't want that. Trust me, you don't want it. Try not to shoot that box yet. You're probably going to need it. We'll go ahead and take care of this. Crap. I'm making pretty good time, actually. Even though I've died a few times in the process. Oh my. Yeah, sometimes I can run right through the game, and then sometimes it takes a little while. They just didn't give me anything on that one. It was just a guessing game on all 5. The numerical ones I'm trying to figure up in my head as fast as I can. Usually it's the lowest number. Usually. Not always. Okay. Must have been one up in there. Shoot. I forgot how to do this. There's magnetic pulses. I call them EMPs because basically that's what they remind me of. those are strong enough to kill anything on the screen. What you want to do is you want to go up there. You'll go over. Now watch out, because the enemies are going to be back. You need to jump over this and preferably duck down, and I got shot anyway. So that didn't work out good. Okay, well. Okay, this is Concrete Jungle. I thought there was one that was called Cyber Jungle. I guess I was wrong. This is, if you can get through the other ones, this might be where you start having a little bit of difficulty. This one is not real easy. And if you know where you're going, you'd be pretty good. Ooh, I almost hit the wall. Woo, I skimmed by the wall on that one. I skimmed it. I skimmed it wall. And this is probably this laboratory is probably the least favorite part of the game for me. I don't mind the office and stuff and like the shop. I don't mind it. And I don't mind like the first little bit of the game and stuff. But this place right here just, oh man. I don't like going through it. I mean, I've been through it so many times that, you know, I know where I'm going kind of, and I know what I'm doing, but I just don't like it. There's a way to get those down there, but I'm not really interested in them. Because I'm just interested in doing what we're doing. Alright. I think it's a Cyber Warzone 2 it is. You're probably going to take a couple hits on this one. And I busted 2 of them. Okay. That first castle, it's sheer dumb luck if I can get through those top rungs without getting hit. I found the best thing to do is try to shoot at them, but try to move while you're shooting. Otherwise, it gets very problematic. Go through the door on this one. Do not try to go through the top. I mean, you can make it through the top, but to tell you the truth, I think it's harder to get through the top than it is through the door. Guys, I know this doesn't look very hard. It's actually hard to shoot them the way that they are. And shoot the exit sign. Okay. See how that one turned access denied? Well, I guess it just turns access denied. Well, I didn't want to go back through it anyway. You go in here. You keep seeing Job's ugly face down there on my screen. Because he knows I'm there. He knows I'm coming for him. Coming to get ya. I'm sure there's somebody sitting there watching this and they're like, I got the pattern down on each one of them. Yeah, well, that's good for you because like I said, I am not good enough to figure that out. Not that good anyway. Not with the time constraint that it is on. I have problems with that, and it's timed, and I'm like, I do not have enough time to figure that out. I was hoping I could get 100% suit, but I thought maybe the chances of it might not be very good. See, I need to jump down. Best thing to do against this boss right here, I guess you would describe it as a boss. You have to face it later on in the shop again. Try to stay in the middle. Or at least where you think you can dodge shots. You can only hit one of them at a time. And you have to hit them with charged up shots. You can't hit them with anything else. This right here, you can shoot it down and get data from it. But then you can't get back up here. So don't do that. I did that one time. And I felt really stupid afterwards. This and probably the circle gun. And maybe even the homing guns are about the best 3 in the game. The homing gun, I would say, is probably the 3rd best gun in the game. Only because of its homing capabilities. Now down here, you're gonna fight another kind of sub boss. This is probably the second best, and the pulse is probably the best. And this thing right here, you want to go over far enough. You want to shoot it in the arm. Now, wherever you're going to be, that's where it's going to shoot. So the best thing to do for me, and I found this out, is to get behind it and just jump up and try to shoot it in the arm and shoot it in the elbow. And sooner or later, while you're shooting at it in both joints, it will, it'll punch the screen over. Because I don't think there's any way to destroy it totally. And we're doing pretty good, so we're going to fight Job. Now, this is an interesting thing because you fight Job in cyberspace. And this is a different thing to do here. Have the fire button held down. Cannot stress that. Crap, I got hit. The I-beams are a little bit hard to dodge. They are a little bit hard to dodge. Now you gotta make all these green ones here say access granted. So every time that you shoot him and do enough damage, you need to fly into one of those green squares and make it say access denied. And man, I am biting the dust really bad. Best thing to try to do on this, where he's spitting out the fire things, is trying to roll around the room. Try to go in a circle away from the fire flames. The third one, I think he just spits out little like flame circles. They're pretty easy to dodge most of the time. I just usually do a circular pattern in the room while trying to keep the gun on him. I'll always try to leave the middle one for last because it's the easiest one to hit. Because if you hit one of them, it's just an extra attempt that he's going to have. Now, the fourth time, he's got the fire stuff coming out plus the eyeball stuff. It is very hard to not get hit by anything right here. As you see, I'm getting just pummeled. After a while, he starts getting up close and personal on the screen, and he does an eye flash thing, and you have got to be underneath it. Gosh, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to kill him this time, guys. I'm dodging everything as good as I can, and he has done the damage. And if he stops for a minute and you... Oh! Crap! That's what I wanted to avoid because that takes a lot of damage. Gosh! This is going so bad. I don't know if I can get him again, guys. I'm not sure. Oh, come on! Bull! Oh, that sucked. That sucked. it's almost hard to hit him without taking any damage because you've almost got to be parallel with where he's at. And that's what makes it so daggone hard, because you have to put yourself in harm's way to keep shooting. And you can't just stand there, because if you just stand there, he'll just wail on you, and that's no fun. The fourth round and on is kind of the harder ones, in my opinion. They're kind of the harder ones because of oh gosh, what he uses. Oh my goodness gracious. If we can avoid that eye laser thing, we'd be doing pretty good. He hits us with that eye laser thing though, and man, it's just massive damage. If you can see when I'm rolling around him, when I'm going around in a circle and I'm still just pummeling him with shots, that's when I've kind of got him in a loop that he really can't hit anything, and I can get more shots in. And if he gets up close and you can just pummel him right there. Oscar! Oscar! Oscar, stop it! Guys, you'll have to excuse me there. Oscar was in here terrorizing Boo again. Okay, guys, we only got to kill him one more time, and doing better this time. I'm not going to say we're doing good or anything like that, really, because it only takes a fraction of a second for him to drain our life bar here. Try to make sure that every shot lands, or at least most of the shots land. I'm trying to watch the thing behind him too, so that I'm in good position, so that if he goes away, I won't miss it. Got it. Because if you miss it, then you just have to go back through it again, and whichever cycle you're on, which is bad. Now you get a little bit of a story. It says the chances of Job escaping were 1,000,000 to 1, and still he did. He hooked into everything. He had access to nearly every record, every piece of data on Earth. What he decided to do next would change the world forever. And he does erase. He sucked us into a revolution. Nations fell. Borders changed. Job disappeared. Angelo discovered what the shop had done. He set out to reach the man behind it all, the Doom player. So now you're going to drive across post-apocalypse suburbia to reach the shop. Now, I'm going to get flack either way I go here. You can have a motorcycle or a car. The motorcycle is fast but can't take as much damage. The car goes a little bit slower but takes more damage. So I'm taking the car. And everybody's going to be like, you should have took the motorcycle. Well, for the theory of trying to stay alive, try not to hit those oil slicks. Those are very, very bad. Those arrows make you go faster. If you see your car's on fire, try to stay away from stuff until the fire subsides. It's other cars. Try to get behind the other cars and shoot them down. When these trucks come up, try dodging them best you can. When you see pink cars coming, you're almost toward the end. As you see on the bottom of the screen, you can see about where I'm at. The stage it feels like forever. It's not forever, but it feels like crap. Dang it! Just does not look, it's like it's going to be one of those nights. Oh gosh, I hit the soil slick. The oil slick makes the car almost undrivable. I mean, almost borderline not happening. I don't know if you can destroy those trucks. I've never shot one long enough to see. I know you can shoot those barrels out in front of you. Bad thing is, when you get, like I told you, toward the end, you'll see pink cars. The pink cars are actually really super strong and super fast.
Stop.
I know these are supposed to speed my car up, but they really don't. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. You know, this kind of reminds me of Spy Hunter in a way. In a way. Not 100%, but in a way. Kind of the, oh gosh, I'm pinballing. I hit that oil slick in there. The good things is the pink cars don't come by. There's not a whole lot of them. But they look like sports cars, as you can see. Okay, I couldn't even see myself. When you get to certain points, a second player can't join in, and all you'll see is access denied up at the top of the screen. You get a few continues. I think it's like 3 continues. Okay, we're going to go in the shop. I'm still doing pretty good on time. Player 1, navigate the cyber tube and decode the security system to enter the shop. Maybe I don't want to. You'll take hits when you go through those and you're not on the bottom part of it. The good thing right here is just to try to spin. If you hit right, it spins that way a little bit. If you hit left, it spins that way a little bit. Crap. Let's see. You want to shoot these so that you can get through there. Now you want to try to follow this around. First couple of times navigating this thing, it's kind of hard to do. But after a while, you kind of get used to it, and it's kind of not as bad. You start noticing that there are patterns, and then this stuff's not as bad as what it seemed like it was to begin with. And boy, they just screwed me over on that one. The best thing to do right here is just try to spin and shoot these things out forward, and then just try to dodge these shots as best you can. I may not make it through. Not looking good. These right here, just make sure they're green whenever you're going towards them. And just kind of spin around a little bit. Sooner or later, you'll come up to a really big one. It's like a big stopper sign. You'll see it here in a minute. Just keep shooting at it. It'll turn green eventually. Once it turns green, stop shooting. Now we're going into the shop. This is probably the hardest area of the game. As you see, the soda machine's chucking out sodas at me. Get close to it if you can. Everything's out to get you right here, and you'll face some of the previous bosses. Wow. Sometimes I get killed in here real quick, and sometimes I do pretty good. It just really depends upon how it's going that time. See, they tried to catch me off guard right there. They thought they was gonna pull a fast one on me, and they kind of still did. You little cheaters! Take out the swivel chair! I was going to try to jump off the side there and turn around and shoot him down, but that didn't happen. Shoot the chair! Shoot the chair! Sometimes there's so much crap going on the screen, I can't even see what's going on. Whee! This is Cosmic City. This is another tough one. Stay low. Best thing I can tell you. Just raise up enough to get through those pink blinds or those purplish looking blinds, but stay low otherwise. That's the best way to get through. I have to use a continue here in a minute. Probably going to die again before I get there. I assume this dude right here is the Doom player, but I'm not for sure. You have to time that. It's a very weird time as well. And then you have to make sure he doesn't spawn right on top of you. You'll face him again. Once you get the timing down, it's not too bad. I did forget there was a timer in the lower left-hand corner on the stats part of the screen that tells you how long you've been playing. I could have used that instead of the timer on the phone to see how long I've been going. We might make it up to the last boss. I'm not sure. It depends really upon how the game wants to go. I hate these things. Okay, yeah, like I know what that last one is. It's like I know what that one is. Oh boy. Oh, come on. I don't know why I guessed that. I knew good and well that wasn't a number. Oh my gosh, for real, people. It's like you get down to the end, they just penalize you real bad for just missing one at that point. It's like, nope, 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 nope. Okay. And then every now and then you'll luck up and you'll get it. Been joined by the dogs again. That's bull. Okay, I don't know how I got killed right there, and it was kind of like a glitch. Guys, hey! Hey! Esse! Esse! Oh gosh, I got killed from the chair. Guys! Hey! Chill it out a little bit. Just a tad. Yeah, you gotta watch this guy shoot from behind the corner. And I really don't think I got hit right there. Yeah, you fight this thing again. Best thing really to do right here is you're probably just going to stand up anyway and just pummel these bricks. Sometimes you'll catch the second one. Now watch these file cabinets. Yes, I said watch the file cabinets because they can kill you. This is Cyber Egypt. This one is not too hard after you go through it once or twice. The main thing is dodging the trees. I think Cyber Office might be the last one. Well, no, there's a Cyber Warzone 3, but there's a Cyber Office 2. And here's that stupid professor thing again. I hate this dude so bad. It took me forever to really get the timing down on this dude to kill him. And even now I kind of have to get the timing down. I have to kind of like... I can't really explain what the timing is. That's the thing. I can't really explain it. I know what it is because I've played it so much that it's kind of in tune in my head. But to describe it's a whole different ballgame. See, I dropped down there. I dropped down there because I just didn't really want to deal with it. And I could have not died right there. But, you know. Guys! Hell! Cyber Office. Now, this one is one of the hardest ones in here. Try to stay low. Oh, man. I hit stuff. Try to stay low and in the middle. That's probably the best advice I can give you. Boom! That might be, besides Cyber Warzone 3, that might be the last one. I'm not sure. Probably about to have to use another stupid continue. This might be Cyber Warzone 3. It is Cyber Warzone 3. Now this is a mishmash of the other two Cyber Warzones with a little bit of variety thrown in for spice. Yes, spicy. Hey, nasty little viruses. Nasty! Okay. You'll fight 3 sets of viruses this time, I think. You fight one there. You'll fight one at this castle. Oh, you're dodging pink. Yeah. Pink shots they shoot. Just go through the middle. It's the easiest thing to do, and then dodge the tree. And then the last one will be one of those big castles like this right here. And shoot through the door. And done. Now you're going to see this little dude take off. That's the Doom player. You can't shut the door on him. It's not a possibility. You can't shut the door on him. Now, what really blows my mind about this game is, you know, you go through all those cyber ones, the cyber war zones and all the other cyber areas, and you go through, you fight Job looking over your character's back. But it's going to blow your mind of how you fight the Doom player. And let me tell you something. The Doom player takes a lot of damage because every time that you have to shoot him a lot of times, and it's like his leg falls off the first time, and then he changes tactics. His other leg falls off the next time, and then he changes tactics. Then his arm. Then his other arm. Then it's just the head, and he changes tactics each time. And power-ups and other stuff. You'll see what I mean when you go in here. This suit don't mean jack diddly squat in here. It just does not. Enter cyberspace to defeat the Doom player. This is what you get. all of that technological stuff, and this is how you end up having to fight him in this in this junk. The best weapon to have is the arrows. If you have the arrows, they'll kind of lock on at an angle and you don't have to stand straight in front of him. But how on God's green earth, how can we go from the game looking so good and so many 3D things, and then we go to this? I mean, really, what is this? The second best weapon's the throwing stars. Down at the bottom of the screen, you'll see my life bar. That's how many hits I can take before I die. Knowing that I've never beat him legit, it's probably not going to happen. You have to have... It's very, very difficult. See, I'm not even taking damage from him. I'm more so taking damage from all these hazards that are on here anyway. That one's supposed to be like an extra hit that you can take, but it doesn't help much. I think I've blown off one of his arms. Now, you don't have to stand back here like I'm doing. I stand back here, though, because I have problems. And see, those right there, they follow you, and they will just jack you up. And if you do manage to kill him in this form, and you do manage to get past this, you blow his arm off, and then all he is his head. So you think the head would be easier to take down. No, it's not. It's not easier to take down. He comes up, and he gets up close and personal with you, and he like shoots this laser beam that encompasses like an eighth of the screen or so, and there's nowhere to go half of the time, because half the time he just jumps straight down, and there's nowhere to be, and it's just like, okay. Yeah, sure. Not real sure if I took a hit right there or not. You guys can watch somebody on a stream play this who's a little bit probably more skilled than me to finish him off. I would have to make save states, which would take another little bit of a while that I really don't have. He infuriates me to no end. He's not too bad until once he gets down to about one arm. The two-armed thing is kind of rough, but the one-armed thing is the worst. The two-armed thing you can kind of get away with, because as long as you don't trap yourself in a corner, you're fine. And what did my big fat mouth just say? Don't trap yourself in a corner. And then what do? I trap myself right in the freaking corner. It's like playing asteroids on crack. Like I said, I take more damage on these things than I do him himself. See, when he shoots the first ones out and then he shoots the other ones, and I just can't get around them. So, like I said, you guys may have to watch another person that streams the game to see the end. I mean, I can make save spots. It's not a great ending anyway. The ending is, I've seen it, and it's just not, it's not any better. And still, like, I can get up to the end and you can beat him, and it still says like 98%. And I'm not really sure how you get like 100%. I'm not sure. I think both the man and I think Angelo and Carla both play the same. I don't really see a difference in them. Everybody's kind of told me there's a difference in between them, but I don't see a difference in between them. So you pick whoever you want, and like I said, that guy at the end, he just gets, there's too many hits. And how do you go from having all these other things like these cyber war zones and these other virtual things in the game that are first person view or from behind the person. You can see it from over the shoulder cameras and stuff like that. And then you come up to the last fight of the game and it's a freaking vertical shooter almost. It's like a vertical space shooter. It's just, it's mind-boggling how it ends. It's just that. And I'm like, that's ridiculous. You know, I mean, it's just, it's mind-boggling. Like this right here. And why couldn't we have this on the last battle? Or something like this? I mean, I know it's different, but, I mean, even the fight with Job is you're looking over the person's shoulder. I mean, and we can't do that for the third fight, but we can do it for the rest of the game. We just can't do it for that last fight. I just think if that last fight was different, the game would be more, in my opinion, it would be more enjoyable. I mean, I like the game, don't get me wrong. I like the game, and I think it's good, but they just need to really change that last fight. That last fight is just not, it's not good. Like I said, I may come back and go through the game at some point and use save states and beat it just to show you guys the end. I'm not going to do it right now, but I may do it at some point in the future. Like right here. Now, you see, this when you fight Job right here, this is what I'm talking about. Why could this not have been the Doom player one? Why could this not have been the Doom player fight as well? I mean, we could do it here. Why could we not do it at the end of the game? It boggles my mind. But I still like the game, like I said. And until next time, we will see you later.